G'day punters, welcome to the mailbag previewing a big fat meeting at Caulfield for CF4 Stakes Day. My man.
Thank you.
How you going?
Good.
Mark Van Triet, jockey manager and judge to Abdullah Oliver and young gun Regan Bayliss. How's the battle been?
Pretty busy time of the year. A lot of meetings every day and night. It's ticking over quite good. Damien's going well. Brenton's being fairly consistent. Regan's, a little bit of a setback with a knee injury last week. Had a week off, but came back, hit the ground running at Bendigo yesterday.
Rode really well yesterday.
Yeah, did a good job. He's actually ridden well with his limited opportunities. But he'll get going. It'll just take a little bit of time, and especially when the carnivals start clashing and some of the jockeys, Damien, and that head towards Sydney. I think there'll be a good opportunity for Regan to showcase his talents.
Exciting times ahead for the young man. So this is a pretty strong meeting. We've got the rails in the true, Peter?
Yes.
Yeah, the rails in the true. So last week he had to water it, then there was a stack of rain. That was a pretty unique setup, I thought. How do we think it's going to play on Saturday?
I would think it's going to be tendering. Just the way Caulfield plays, it should be favouring those ones up front on speed.
So we're looking for horses that are sort of midfield or forward in run as a rule. We're going to kick off with the two-year-old races. We've got a Fillies edition and a Colts and Geldings edition. We're going to look at races 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8 after that, finishing with the CF4. Race 3, 1,100 metres. The market looks like that, punters, and there'll be a speed map come up on your screen as well. In race 3, there's been not a stack of money early, but the favourite is Montesira. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Around 280 from Fresh, and then a Beautiful Night. We've been talking a little bit off there. You'll see my map. You're in the Luke Curry, C-Mart, Eustace camp here.
I am. Look, their 2-year-olds are just airborne at the minute. I know, we've been talking about it off air. I can see where you're coming at, your little set against Montesira. There's not a lot of form to come out of those races.
When you say not a lot.
Yeah, well.
None,
but I think this horse trained on the track, had a recent jump out, won the jump out well. Loving Gabby was in the jump out. A trial well in Sydney prior to coming down here. I see it sort of mapping midfieldish. Hopefully it can hold a spot midfield. And it's one that, as I said, they're 2-year-olds, they're all running very well.
And he did sound very, very bullish, Eustace, about the chances of this horse.
He did. And I actually know the manager or manages these horses, and they're very confident.
Okay. Scares me a little bit. However, I thought the horse was a lay. I think drawn 3, I don't think it has enough speed to be anywhere near even the front half, let alone the first 4. It's going to be back and buried. Award winner has been scratched, which takes some sort of pressure out of those around midfield trying to find spots. And unhinged races tonight at Pakenham, so it's likely not running.
Correct.
But I just think Fresh was not suited at all the way the race was run 2 weeks ago. Drawn 1 here is just going to get every possible to be put right on the spot, right on pace. It's got a dominant SP profile. I was half against the personal form, the Geelong, where it beat personal at Geelong. The personal came out one really stylishly, but in no time at Flemington. Race 1 yesterday at Bendigo. There was a good market support for the Godolphin horse, which was in that personal race, and it ran the best of those in the market, I thought. I think Fresh will start favourite and should start favourite. If Unstoppable gets out to a price, drawn 4, just a few barriers outside of what it was last start, it was the fastest last 200 metres of the day. It
was massive, but I'm sort of in that with that theory that I don't think it's got any speed at all to hold a spot. Like, I watched it pretty closely out of the gates, and it just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, she wasn't trying to hold it back, was she?
No, I think it's going to be this. It's going to be a size champagne horse up in Sydney. It's 1,600 metres, it's got written all over it, I would have thought.
Because it is actually probably going to end up being quite a small field. Like Drone Strike's still in this race, but it races tonight as well at Pakenham. River and a Storm for Ollie, it was pretty impressive at Geelong. And he's going to get a pretty soft run here, I think, off the speed. We don't think that's going to be the spot you want to be, but he doesn't have to be too far back from 7.
I thought he might push forward, be positive there. I don't know what you've got going for, but I thought 8 and 11. 11's trial well. Showed it was pretty quick in its jump out. It'll go forward. A beautiful night.
5 be forward.
And fresh.
Yeah, I think fresh holds the key. If they are too negative and there is intent, he could be 3-back defence, and then I don't want to be with it.
I don't think I've got a 3-back defence. Ideally, I've got it behind those 2 leaders.
Yep.
It's got a hold from barrier 1, surely.
Yeah, so Montesira camp, fresh camp, 2 horses in the market. We'll just wait and see, I guess.
Yeah.
And on Stopperville, we're looking for the size.
I think future point of view, size, Champagne, those races in Sydney.
Race number 4 is the Colts and Geldings version. Hanseatic's favourite from Rulership. Hanseatic's been slightly soft. Rulership's been backed. Winsome, first up, off some decent trials at Cranbourne. Gets Willow, who I believe jumped it out there or trialled it at Cranbourne.
He did, yeah.
He's been well backed. There's the market. Here comes the map. What did you think of this race, Mark?
I'm a little bit different. I mean, I'm not potting Hanseatic, but I'm just thinking from barrier 2 could possibly find itself 3-back defence.
Back and buried.
Buried, which is going to need a bit of luck. It's basically the opposite to what happened to it. Its last run was out wide, had room, could get into its action, wind up, and just go wishka. If it gets back and buried, it's going to be in all sorts of bother.
I'm against it at the price. I think it'll keep drifting. The map's just awful. The time it ran at Caulfield 2 weeks ago was not as flattering as it was to the eye. They walked early, and he was able to build, like he said, and wobbled. This is a completely different setup. He's going to be inside horses. You know, you can just see him sort of saying, the horse in the pressure, being inside horses.
Yeah, I can see it climbing just all over the backs. And just,
or really restrained to get out and get around them. Either way, it's not a positive. I think Tanker can really improve. I think it's missed in the market and a good price here.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it obviously had no luck the other day. And actually was found to have mucus. And it's great. And was
well supported in the market too.
Yeah.
But I think Rulership will win and win pretty easily.
I'm with you.
I think that it's just a box-ticking weapon here. Drawing 5. If someone wants to take it on, it might land 1-1. But it probably just leads easily, kicks off the camber.
Bit of leads or takes a sit just behind them. But look, its win in Sydney was enormous. You know, they went steady to the 600.
To the clock, it's done a lot.
You know,
it'll start favourite, won't it?
I think it will. Yeah, and it's done at both ends. It's run the fastest last 200, second fastest last 200
big.
For the meeting.
For the day, yeah. It's huge. It was an enormous performance.
Which is, for a 2-year-old to do that, and that's massive.
It's just
and they didn't walk. It was pretty steady, you know.
And it gapped on that.
Yeah.
And it was some beast down gapping on.
For me, I'm all over it.
Right yard, right setup, ticks every box. I think it's almost immoral. I think Tanker's the one that can really improve. I'm against Hanseatic. I'm convinced Rulership will start favourite and just be heavily backed.
Yeah, and the big watch is obviously the first starter, Kenny
Winsome.
It has trial, fantastic. But
big, and it showed, it's hard to line up with those trials at Cranbourne speed-wise, but it showed a bit of tactical speed.
Yeah, it's jump outs I looked at, showed tactical speed in both.
It's going to need it though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's hard to get a guide on those Cranbourne jump outs. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty damn good to come out and be winning a race like this on debut.
But you'd expect it's a little bit of a line savager, and there already has been some support as to how much more. I reckon we're about right now. I think Tanker's the one that'll get nibbled up late. Yeah, we're big Rulership here at the mailbag. Race 5 is the Autumn Stakes. Microphone is favourite, $3.40. Adelaide Ace, $4.60, and then Banco, Savvy Lad next. There's the market. Here comes the map. This is a good race. Good, interesting betting race. I thought. I am
the great
harsh. I think Microphone's gone. Got it paraded like a horse that doesn't want to be racing at Moonee Valley. The market Only just
And
sort
race
of
like that too.
penned it late, and then it raced like that.
It was just plain. Look, the positives are it's coming back to its own age, set weights, penalties, so it's in well at the weights, but yeah, you just would have expected it to show a bit more than what it did.
I can't have it near what the price is.
So, no, look, I'm actually savvy lad here. New Zealander. It's Trial Wild Cranbourne. It's races that it's won in New Zealand. There haven't been a lot of depth, but it's just the manner it's done it.
Yep.
I'll be interested to see what you say for the parade. But it's a bit of a sticky gate, but I think Lady Lupino is going to run them along here.
Yep.
So they should spread out a bit.
Well, Lady Lupino sort of half missed the start for Ollie last time, and was sort of then in a spot where does he dig it up or just try
and look,
after it?
if you look at her form, she runs best when she's just let roll.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that'll be instructions. Just let root.
I'm thinking the sort of same thing. I don't want to be with the sort of same form line and try and pick apart those races, the Wedge Tails and Wilmot Passes of the world. Banco, I think, is reasonably bomb-proof and maps really nicely. I agree, the trial of Savvy Lab was huge, the jump out.
Mm.
I'm really interested to see what Mitch Freeman's Legion of Merit parade's like, how forward it is. It was off walking tempos.
Yeah, it's not very slow.
But its closing section was that of a good horse. So it's yet to be sort of tested either way here. I think it's a big test for this horse's preparation. And it's a horse here with some upside.
Adelaide Ace.
Just watch the market.
Yeah.
Hope. It looked pretty good on .com with Scales of Justice. It did what it had to do first up.
It was massive, I thought, what it did first time. But it did that at Flemington, sat 3 wide last prep from memory, and then came out and got beat.
Yeah. Just like...
So, because when I remember when it won...
Yeah. But if you remember that day, he had another horse in, Lindsay Smith, which was favourite, almost, in the Spice of Thoroughbred Silks. And it made sense to me, and it drifted heavily. And Adelaide Ace, I think that start was coming over from Perth.
It was.
And hemorrhaged.
Yeah.
Then sat 3 wide and pissed in.
Yeah.
So it's just, I find them impossible to catch, just about, especially in the city.
Mm.
So I'll be waiting and watching the market and seeing if I can get a guy from the parade there. But I am with you on Savvy Lad. Race 6 is over 1,100 metres. Age of Chivalry. What do we make of it? First up, I expect they're not too keen to... I expect it's not too forward and not even convinced to lead.
Is that this race? I don't think it'll lead. No.
Is there anything here that you thought would take it up in your lock as a bet?
Anna Heed.
Is it a complete and utter? Is it a complete and utter?
Yeah, possibly. Pretty keen.
I think we can keep it pretty short. Anna Heed is the 3-year-old here, the quality 3-year-old with the mint grouse form.
Yeah. Its
trial in Sydney was strong. It makes its own luck, which we think will be what you want to do here.
Well, that's exactly right. And they're the keys. It's trial well.
The only horse that'll take it on is Sartorial Splendour. Runson from 1, I'll snick if there's any sort of intent from anyone else and it'll lob the coffin. All Too Royal, I think, will really improve, and Bold Star has a huge turn of foot, but it's drawn 4 and I don't know where it gets to. Age of Chivalry, I don't think it's a first up horse, but I think it's a really talented horse.
It's not, but it actually has trialled up quite well, jumped out well. So, but I just think it's going to be given them a start. I don't think they're going to be. They'll get back and it'll be getting along.
Yeah, and this filly with a grouse form will make a turn luck on speed at 54
kilos.
Exactly Tim Clark, who's a great rider of leaders,
yeah.
I think it's immoral.
Yeah.
And he's one of the keenest I've been on a Saturday to bet in a long time.
Yeah.
Done. Race 7. This is going to be all you, the Carline Cup, over the mile, Group 3, set weights and penalties. There's a speed map. Does Miss Siska cross and lead from 10 first up?
Yeah, Linda might actually keep it out. I'm not sure. But yeah, look, it probably crosses and leads. You've got Miss Siska. Odium will go forward with Craig. Inverloch will roll along. And then you've got sort of the next batch, Geyser. I think Miss Siska's been very well found in the market. Couldn't be coming in at those odds whatsoever.
I'm kind of the same, but I don't want to lay it at the same time.
Well, there's not too many hopes. I would have thought 18 and Geyser. Geyser's been crying out for the mile. It's just been racing like it wants the 1600. Should be out of position, closer in the run. Didn't have the best of rides the other day. I would have thought it's just behind that leading bunch.
Yeah.
Odeon's had a jump out in between. Looked pretty sharp. Looks still pretty switched on to me. I'm actually happy to take on Miss Siska to bet around it, to be honest.
I'm not confident in the race at all. I'm a Miss Siska fan, and we backed it. People who watch the show and buy my stuff, we backed it. Well, I know we backed it at Flemington at 41s when it got done on the line. We were taking good odds about a horse that makes its own luck. Now we're taking real skinny odds here. I'm not interested in the race, and I doubt I'll find a bet even from the yard. The big one, Mark, race 8. Betfair C4 Stakes, 400 metres, Group 1, weight for age, 3-year-olds and up. We'll go horse by horse here. Avilius, James Cummings, D Lane. First up off, was it only one trial?
One
but
trial.
A good trial.
Good trial. Yeah, got
up in Sydney. I thought from 3 he could be further forward than you'd think.
No, not too much forward. Where have you got it?
Just worse than midfield.
Yeah,
not last though.
Not last. Yeah, I agree. Because there's a bunch behind him.
Soci Bond, Night's Watch, Mirage Dancer, even Fierce Impact. If they show a little bit of intent here on Avilius, he can be like sort of before those guys.
Yeah.
From 3.
Yep.
He wants to reign though, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm happy to ignore him here and bet around him. You?
Correct. I'm with you on that.
Horse 2, Haydock, McAvoy, Curry, drawn 5. Does it lead?
Well, it's right there. We might be showing 10, so it will be bang on speed. Would be good to your mother, I would have thought.
Fascinating little speed bump set up early, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I don't know how you... Look, I've got Haydock, Be Good to Your Mother, and then Scales of Justice and Alabama Express coming across. I think they'll get across quite comfortably.
I agree. And then I think maybe Haydock could then sneak to the coffin. Be Good to Your Mother crosses to the fence, and then Scales of Justice either has to hold and hope McD on Alabama crosses, or Scales of Justice ends up OSL and please God, Allah, Buddha and Zeus, Alabama Express just gets the back of Scales of Justice and just holds on and peels out and pences it.
Very hard for a 3-year-old to win this race, 3-year-old Cole.
I know, I'm with it at $21. It could end up starting that way, that price, the way the market's going. I'm not potting it, but it's just the 3-year-olds that have won it previously. I think there's been 6 in the last 29 years that had a bit more upside than this. Yeah, they've been proven against older horses, whereas he hasn't. Yeah,
you know? But yeah, they had to roll them. I could see why they've come to this race. Yeah,
I reckon the race has come a bit stronger than you would have anticipated too.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, horse 3, Scales of Justice, Lindsay Smith, Dean Yandel, drawn 7. I think it's a box-ticking little menace. It's a beast of a horse.
It's a beast.
Paraded outstanding at Moon Valley. The only chink I could find is it failed second up last prep, but it wasn't a massive fail. Still around a pretty big figure, beaten by Dallasan. This scares me.
I'm really keen.
Could be moral.
Could be. Yeah, he's a beast. And like I said, I can't see too much trouble for him rolling across, getting across.
Barrier's perfect, isn't it? If it was drawn 1, I could start to sort of try and find angles.
Yeah.
But it's drawn 7.
He's got time.
Good speed inside him.
Well, and even on the outside, he can use Mickey D to come across. Just take his time, gradually work across, and just land in the perfect spot. And you just be smoking the pot. He's going to be awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, it shits me, but I think you're right. Horse 4, Fierce Impact, Matty Smith, Craig Williams. I thought it trialled pretty well up in Sydney.
Trial good, but like we just touched on earlier, it depends if they're going to show intent or not. Generally, this horse gets back, so he's going to be back in the ruck with those horses resuming, which I think would be quite a clump of them there.
Yeah, I think it's a really good option for in-play punters to make a decision in the first sort of 500 metres of the race. If he does ping and just lob in a really dangerous spot, it's a horse with the sort of turn of foot and the want to win that would scare the shit out of you if it was close enough to like a horse like Scales of Justice.
Yeah.
If it's back too far, then I'm with that. Kingswood Dream, I thought it trialled awful.
Just fair, and I think I'm happy to work around it.
And so, 50 stars.
No.
Wait a little bit once it wet.
Yeah, and just it's not suited to your way approach.
Sosie Bond drawn 12. Luke Nolan, that scares me to death. This thing will be near last, I thought, or cast 3 wide.
It'll be given a start and it'll be covering ground, I would have thought.
Might hit the line nicely for the next start or the start after that. And Ras Dancer, first up off a Melbourne Cup run.
Trial okay, but wants ground.
Yeah. Night's Watch, Ollie and Waller, drawn 11. Jesus, wouldn't it have been good if this thing could have drawn 6?
Yeah, but I don't know. He just might be a professional trialer. He always seems to trial well, this horse. But yeah, the gate's going to make it awfully hard, very difficult.
I do think he should be closer in the market to Fierce Impact. Like Fierce Impact had nice runs in the races where it beat Night's Watch, and Night's Watch often had the SP over it.
Yeah,
there was excuses every time for Night's Watch, and normally he was drawn inside. So drawn outside might be a different story. I think it very likely runs sort of 3rd or 4th here.
Yeah, as I said, I think more than anything the gate is going to play against it.
Be Good to Your Mother, D Bowman, D Bates, drawn 6. I've got it leading, but they could sit OSL. I don't know. I think they got a bit confused. Fair enough. Set up to that race at Moonee Valley. The ride wasn't good. It wobbled, but there was excuses why it wobbled in the straight. I thought it paraded outstanding. He can train big time, like he can prepare him. It's improved and scares me a bit here. But this is a huge step up for this horse, isn't it?
It is, but given how the track or how we think it will play and where it will be, making his own luck, he's got an awesome record trip.
Do you reckon
he does tick a few boxes?
If he crosses and leads, though, I think he'd try and slow. Which then sets up for a horse to come over the top of him.
I'm about to say that would be a disaster if he did that.
But good for me on Alabama Express. And Night's Watch. And we get now to Ring a Ding Ding, who clocked the fastest last 6, 4 and 2 of the Australian Stakes at Moonee Valley. When not suited, they went too quick for it. It was drawn on the inside. If he drew 8, I'd be very keen to get involved.
I like this horse a lot, but at barrier 1 does concern me.
If he pings the lids, Jesus, my heart will start to... It just needs to jump well and be put into the race. It did show, at least at Moonee Valley, that it can let down insider horses, which it's going to have to do here.
If it pings leads and lob midfield with the Villiers sitting outside it, for instance, I think it's nearly happy days. You'd be sort of getting a bit excited.
The extra 200 metres versus Be Good to Your Mother, Haydock and Scales of Justice is all these horses' favourite.
And then the speed, if they're going to slow up middle stages or whatever, they can just drag up.
John Allen's going to need to give this horse the perfect ride, though.
Yeah. But it's one it's going to be in the finish, but it's going to need that luck. Yeah.
Well, after just running the Australia Stakes, I tried to search where it was nom before, and it wasn't nommed anywhere, but now it's locked here. I think if it was drawn in our barrier, it would be winning. I think the horse is flying and probably going to win soon, somewhere good. The lucky last horse is Alabama Express, a 3-year-old colt from Maroney and D, drawn 10. I like the map. I like the setup. I love the form. I think if you like the Exceedance form, the Bivouac form's good here. If Scales of Justice wasn't here, I'd be so down to find out about this horse. Give my money. I'm happy if you watch the Pathways show, which you do on Mondays now at Betfair. I'm on at 21, so I'm very happy. But I don't think it's appropriate to suggest another bet now at sort of 7s.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, as I touched on previously, it sets up well for Alabama Express. It will lob in a good spot. It'll come across and it'll go across easy enough. But it is very difficult for a 3-year-old colt to be winning these races against the older horses at this time of the year.
Yeah.
It has been done, but I think the last one was all too hard. 2013.
Pretty good horse.
Which it won a Guineas, second in the Cox Plate, and was first up into this race.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the previous horses, have that form that, they're Group 1 winners or they've ran well against the older horses where this bloke...
But it's just, isn't it just the Scales of Justice factor? Like, if he's not here...
If he's not there...
It starts to get pretty warm to it, I think.
Exactly, because then the race is perfect for him.
Yeah.
But Scales of Justice is a Group 1 beast.
Yeah. Yeah, a proper legitimate beast.
So... And they're going to be together.
Yeah.
For me, I'm Scales of Justice.
Yep. I can't knock what you're saying at all.
On Scales of Justice and Ring a Ding Ding, depending on where it gets in the run, if it gets the breaks, it'll be the one flashing.
I think Scales of Justice will beat Alabama Express. I think Ring a Ding Ding will flash for third and Night's Watch to run fourth. I wouldn't be surprised if Beagle Tim Mother runs a big race.
I've got it running a huge race.
Alright, best value, and I'll do a lay, not you. What's your best? Are we just both going to declare and a who?
I'll go to the 2-year-old, Rulership.
Yep. My best, race 6, number 10, Anaheed. I think it's absolute bet to nothing here, $4. I think it'll start 3s. Value, my value is in race 9, number 5, My Pendant, Willow, second up. I like the race it came out of. They walked, which wouldn't suit this horse. Now, the 1200, Caulfield, ticks a few boxes, drawn 2. You could get Willowed, but I think you could get Willowed the right way here from 2. Could find a spot just midfield, a bit further forward than midfield.
Yep. My value's in race 5. The price has gone up a little bit. Savvy Lab, I think it's going to run a very big race.
My lays. Race 3, number 2, Montesira. Race 5, number 1, Microphone. And race 9, number 9, Sylvia's Mother. I think Sylvia's Mother's a proper horse. I just don't like drawn 1. Doesn't have enough speed to sort of use it up. I worry where it gets to in the run. I think it's a really deep race with big chances. Fidelia jumped out pretty well. Invictus Salute maps ideally. Will be rock hard fit. New Girl now cops D Lane. There's tips everywhere for horses here. Happy to be against Sylvia's Mother at $2.90. Thanks for watching. We got many a mail from Caulfield, and we don't know where in Sydney. Mailers it might be changing, but there's definitely going to be many a mail in Sydney. That's it, Pete. Yeah.
Flemington Sunday.
Yeah. Actually, if you sign to the Manningham Mail, you're going to get 10 races from the Valley. Thank you for putting the 2,500 and the 3,000 extra metre races right in the middle of it. Then Caulfield on Saturday, and then we've got 9 or 8 races from Flemington on Sunday.
Is it 8?
I don't know. It's a lot of races, and they're all down the straight. Big weekend. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Good luck.